Greetings folks, and I hope you're all pre-ordering like crazy out there in collecting land, and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today it's the turn of Present Toys' take on Johnny Depp, aka Edward Scissorhands, from Tim Burton's 1990 gothic romance fantasy of the same name. So, usual format folks, box, accessories, figure, then showcase at the end. But before we dive into the tragic topiarist, I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported the channel. And be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any of the 1/6 scale fun and games that we've got coming up. So, Edward Scissorhands, cracking movie in my opinion, and a number of companies have had a go at making 1/6 scales of Edward. Most notably Hot Toys and art figures, but this will be my first foray into Mr. Scissorhands, and I'm more than a little intrigued to see what Present Toys have given us. As regulars to the channel will know, I am a fan of Present Toys' work, although recently it has been a little bit hit and miss. Their Aliens Ripley figure and their Tom Hardy Mad Max Fury Road figure weren't their best works, so I'm intrigued to see what Present Toys have got to offer. But enough of my ramblings, onto the box. Let's stop it from spinning and have a quick look round. What you've got here is the usual Present Toys sort of high stock card shoebox design. And it's done in these sort of grey scales and blacks, and on the front you've got a picture of Edward himself. Now I don't think this is a picture of the figure, could be wrong, but I think this is a stylized picture of a promotional shot from the movie. At the bottom here it says Scissorhands. Obviously they can't, it's a third party unlicensed figure, so they've removed the Edward. It says Present Toys at the bottom there. And yeah, this image of Edward himself is sort of bisected by these what look like shards of glass or slash marks or whatever they might be, and I think there's a little butterfly going on there as well, and this sort of grayscale in the background. Around the sides, that grayscale and black is continued. It says Present Toys with the company logo, continued on the right hand side as well. On the bottom just says Scissorhands, same story on the top there. Around the back you have got the usual warnings and credits. Don't piss this figure off or your hedgerow may never forgive you. It says Scissorhands across the top there. You've got some of the paper cutouts, images of the paper cutouts that he makes in the film, and in the background here you've got this sort of outline drawing of one of his hands as well. So yeah, nice presentation here from Present Toys. We'll just shift this turntable to one side and open this up. This is a brand new figure, literally just come through the door, and I would like to send a massive thank you to William Wang over at One Man's Hobby for sourcing me this figure. When you open the box up, you are greeted with a foam inlay, and underneath that foam inlay you've got the figure itself. Two layers going on here. I believe that the base is behind this, and you've got the boxed rooted hair head sculpt. Now I think this might be a first for Hot Toys here, a first foray into rooted hair, but I'll have to double check between takes. So yeah, that's the box. So without further ado, let's grab all the accessories, dive down onto the table and have a look at everything that you get with your Edward Scissorhands figure. Okay, so accessories out, and what do you get? Well, not a vast amount, to be honest with you, so let's hope the money's in the head sculpt and in the figure itself. But what you do get is this little cutout where Edward displays his paper cutting skills. Quite nicely done, just a sort of a thin paper stroke card with what I believe are the red bunny rabbits on the front there. And yeah, if you're wanting to use this in the display, you can have him holding it, or just have it sat around somewhere in the display. So yeah, nice addition there from Present Toys. Put that to one side. You also get a swap out outfit. Those who've seen the film will recognise the outfit, the white shirt and the braced pants. Now, cotton shirt this, just a simple white cotton shirt, and pretty well done, I have to say. The stitch work is good on the seams there. The collar looks pretty good. Overall, slightly oversized, but I think it is actually meant to be screen accurate. Functioning pocket at the lapel there, I believe. He said confidently. No, it is actually a functioning pocket there. Yeah, but the stitch work looks nice. There's no threads hanging down here. There's no buttons on the cuffs. The cuffs themselves meant to be open, as in the film. But overall, yeah, pretty nicely done. White cotton 6-scale shirt, so off to a good start there. You also get the grey pants, the slightly oversized grey pants. I think these are possibly a man-made material. I'm not sure whether these are cotton. They don't feel, well, they could be cotton. I am no textile expert, but they are nicely cut, slightly oversized as they should be. The stitch work there is nice. You've got Velcro fastening at the top there, which is the same with the shirt. Actually, the shirt's got a Velcro fastening. There are no snaps or anything like that here, which is nice to see, to be honest with you. As good as snaps are, they can break really easily, and they are so fiddly. Functioning pocket in the back of the grey pants here, and the stitch work around the waistline looks pretty good. Overall, yeah, nicely done. The braces themselves are elastic. There's a metal clasp here at the back here, attaching it to a plastic section on the hoop of the pants, and it's attached to directly to those hoops at the front as well. So yeah, nicely tailored, nicely put together, and they feel pretty good quality. So yeah, that's your grey pants. The base, we would normally take a look at the base last, the stand last, but I'm reserving that for this head sculpt. Once again, Present Toys have gone for this oversized base. Big footprint on this one. I was unsure about these when I first started seeing Present Toys putting these out, but I do quite like this one. As I say, very big footprint on this one, not reminiscent of Org Toys bases. It's hollow plastic, just simple black hollow plastic, no feet on this one, so watch out for slippage in the display. On the top you've got this, what looks like a sticker, and it's just a large snowflake, a large paper cut snowflake with folds in it, and scissors around the edges, and then in the background you've got this sort of night sky with some blues in there and some stars. Overall, I think it's pretty well done and looks good. On the front, you've got what I believe is a metal nameplate. Now, this is cold to the touch, so I am assuming it's metal. Looks like it's got that plastic coating on it as well. And I think they've done a pretty good job here, Present Toys. So many times these days, when we see nameplates on third-party figures, they come up with some weird AI-generated name for the figure, which just looks ridiculous, in my opinion. And so the fact that they've just dropped the Edward and gone with Scissorhands actually works for me. It doesn't detract too much from the figure, and it's nicely etched into this metal. You've got Scissorhands in this sort of rough lettering, and at either end you've got these metal cogs going on, and then this pattern across the top and the bottom. So overall, yeah, I might be using this in the display. I think Present Toys have got away with it here. So yeah, overall, I'm liking this base, given its enormous footprint. Comes with a standard issue crotch grabber, simply slots into the back there, as always. So yeah, that's your stand. So on to the all-important part, the head sculpt. Now, it's great to see that Present Toys have actually packaged this head sculpt in a separate clear plastic box here, sort of emulating the work of the bigger companies, your Inarts and your Hot Toys and so on, and not just ramming it on the figure and stuffing it in the box and hoping for the best. And what's a nice touch here as well, it's held together by this tape, and this tape emulates that cutout of the red bunny rabbit. So let's get it out and take a look. Now, I've got to say from the get-go here, I've got to take my hat off to any 1/6 scale manufacturer that attempts to tackle this figure, because in my opinion, I think it's one of the hardest figures out there to do. The head sculpt itself, and I'm going to bring some pictures actually in at this point, so we can we'll talk about I won't say the elephant in the room, but now. Those who know the film will know that, and I revisited it before this review, that the hairstyle changes in the film depending on what scene you're in, depending on what medium you're watching it on. If you're watching it on Blu-ray, if you're watching it on a streaming service, you're watching it in 4K, 5K, an old VHS, whatever it might be. And it's the same with the photographs as well. The skin tone varies, the hair can change from scene to scene, as you can see from some of these shots. And I have trawled the internet looking at photos and stills from the film, and literally the hairstyle can change from scene to scene, as I said. What I think Present Toys have done here, and I'm trying to find the right photo. I'm just going to scroll down here until we find the one that I think that they based it on, is this one here, and it's the same one that you see on the cover of the box in the background there. I think they've actually gone for this particular shot, and I'm trying to get this full screen. I think Present Toys have based the entire head sculpt on that one promotional shot that we're seeing there, because it looks very, very similar. Now, the issues here is the skin tone changes during the film. Sometimes he's very pale, sometimes he's not so pale. The eye makeup changes, the hairstyle changes. So I think they've gone with this one. Another good choice, and actually looking at these two side by side, I think Present Toys have done a very, very good job here. You could argue that eye makeup around the eyes there is not dark enough. It looks darker in certain scenes, but overall I think they've done a cracking job. Let's take a close-up look at this. They've gone for that super pale look, which isn't always there in the film, as I mentioned, but overall I think using that one shot, they have pretty much nailed this on. The skin texturing is nice in the sculpt, the paint applications are very good. You've got those scars on the face which have been picked out. There's that sort of half moon one on the cheek there, and then the longer ones around the nose and the eyes where he's accidentally cut himself over the years. The eyes are nice and glassy, instantly recognisable as Johnny Depp and as Edward Scissorhands. I think they've done a very, very good job here. I think a lot of people will argue that the skin tone is off, maybe there's not enough shading on there. The lips perhaps could do with a little bit more coloration, in my opinion, because he had that sort of almost partial lipstick on the top lip and the bottom lip that you can see on the box in the bottom there, and maybe that could have been accentuated a little bit more. But overall, I think they've done a very, very good job here. This hair now. Interesting, this hair. Now, is it rooted, is it stuck on? I think this is rooted, and I think the price point reflects that. Slightly more expensive than your average Present Toys figure, but what they've done with the hair here is they've set this hair in place. So if you're wanting to pick this figure up and actually muck around with the hair to get a particular scene style, you might be disappointed here, because this is quite solid, this hair. It's all in place. It feels like it's been coated, so it will pretty much stay in place. But you've got the accuracy is there with the colour. Going for that particular one style that they've used as reference, they've nailed on, I think. You've got these long straggly bits at the back here. Bring it round to the back so you can see this. There are straight bits, there are curly bits, there are straggly bits. Overall, I think they've done a cracking job here, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of resistance going on here, so I'm not sure what they've coated this hair with to make it stay in place, but it certainly is working. And you've got this straggly bit coming off to one side as well. Once again, it's screen accurate. So I know there's going to be a lot of debate about this head sculpt out there, but I think it's pretty good. And given the reference material that they've used here, I think they've pretty much nailed it on Present Toys. I think that is a cracking head sculpt. So yeah, that's the head sculpt. So we'll pop that to one side. So that's all the bits and pieces that come with your Edward figure. So without further ado, let's get that head sculpt on him. Let's get him out of the box. Let's get him onto this huge stand and have a close-up look at him. Okay folks, so here he is, straight out of the box, straight onto the stand and turntable, and first impressions. First impressions are pretty good, I have to say, although there are some issues which came out of just getting him onto this stand and turntable, which we will cover. But overall, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with what Present Toys have given us here. As I mentioned at the top there, I don't own the Hot Toys iteration or the VTS Toys iteration, so I've got nothing to compare it to. However, I mean, had a look at some photos. I think the Hot Toys figure at the end of the day is 11, 12 years old. The head sculpt was just not up to today's standards. The VTS version looks a lot more accurate, but I can't compare the two because I don't have it in hand. But we'll do as we always do. Let's stop him from spinning and have a close-up look at him. I'm going to say straight away, let's cover these issues that were straight out of the box, and it's the actual body. Now, I don't know where Present Toys get their bodies, whether they source them from a third party, whether they manufacture them themselves, but straight away I noticed the usual left leg issue, which I have been encountering a lot of with Present Toys recently, most notably the Mad Max figure and the Ripley figure. For some reason it's always the left leg. As you can see, it's a bit on the loose side. Not a problem with the right leg, but obviously the whole thing is just, yeah, it's not secure enough. So the body lets it down straight away, but we will soldier on. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. Now, these boots, these asymmetrical boots, screen accuracy is there. They are sculpted in plastic. You've got a split cut boot design going on at the bottom there. The sculpture is really nice. You've got these sort of hoop shapes on the left boot, and then more like strapping on the left boot there. Nicely done. And once again, the shape and the sculpt are all accurate. You've got this detailing on the side of the boot here with these brass circles, which is screen accurate, and this little brass sculpted hoop at the back there. I would say exercise caution there. That's plastic and will probably catch quite easily. Not an awful lot of articulation going on with these boots, even though it is a split cut design. Forward and backward motion is there, but not a vast amount, right and left, and it's difficult to get this to move because this leg is so loose. To get it to move, I have to actually hold the entire leg because the whole leg wants to move. It's that janky. Which is not, like I say, not a good sign. But overall, the sculpt on these boots is very good. On this right boot, you've got the strappings really nicely detailed with these sculpted in buckles that are painted brass colour, and then you've got these softer plastic sections falling away, which looks really nice. And you've got this detailing on the back here. Nothing to speak of on the soles of the boots, but overall, yeah, I think the sculpting is really nice. Moving up, you've got this screen accurate sort of piping section at the top of the left boot, which is done in a soft plastic and painted that brass colour as well. Good to see that Present Toys have gone with the soft plastic here. If had that been a hard plastic, it probably would have been in danger of snapping off. Up to the knees themselves, they're on a ratchet joint, these knees. You're not going to get a huge amount of movement here. This is not the kind of thing the kind of figure to go into too dynamic opposing, so I don't think it'd be an issue. But yeah, you've got some movement in there. As you can hear, that ratchet joint is pretty good. Same on this side as well, a similar ratchet joint, slightly looser. Once again, this body perhaps not the best in the world. Moving up, you have the pants themselves. Now, these pants are done in a number of different materials. Now, having checked in between takes here, Present Toys are advertising this as a leather suit, so I'm not sure whether it's 100% leather or whether they've used pleather in areas, but we'll go with leather. They're saying it's leather, so I'm going to stick with leather. The suit underneath, once again, is not asymmetrical. It's a man-made material. It's sort of a nylon type material. You've got this striped section on the left leg and this more plain section on the right leg with this sort of stitched in vinyl part at the top. The stitching is nicely done, quite rough, but it's meant to be. Then you've got all the manner of straps going on in the crotch area with the buckles and so on, and these straps hanging down. This one that's attached to the top of the thigh. This one is free floating. All screen accurate, all nicely done around the back. That detailing is continued, and it is a complex figure, this one, with this outfit. There's so much going on in the outfit. You've got the stitching in the nylon material itself, which is real stitching. This it's not sculpted in or stuck on or anything like that. And once again, it's emulating that same brass color. 3 independent straps on the left leg at the thigh area. Pretty much, I think these are free floating. Well, the top one feels like it is. Maybe they are. They're all free floating, but held tightly in place against the body. Once again, with a variety of different detailings going on there, nicely painted, and the buckles on there. Moving up now, let's just get these arms out of the way a little bit. so we can see the body section now. Outfit, yeah, screen accuracy is definitely there. If this soft leather, it's quite thin, quite soft leather, with this stud detailing, screen accurate, and you've got these belts that are over the top. The belts themselves, plastic buckles and plastic detailing, are all nicely done, and all screen accurate, and all painted in a variety of different colours. You've got sort of brass colours, silver colours, more gold effect going on. You've got the strapping across the chest, which is screen accurate with this sculpted plastic buckle or detailing on the left hand side. Underneath, that nylon bodysuit, if it is nylon, is continued with the stitched in neck section there, moving down the arms. Now underneath that sort of shiny vinyl almost looking section is continued down under the arms into the sculpted plastic of the hands themselves. Now the hands themselves there are no metal blades here, it's all sculpted plastic, and they are all on little ball joints, which we'll take a closer look at when we've covered this suit. But detailing on the upper arm there, you've got this silver chain attached to this free floating flap. Now it looks like it's actually a metal chain that they've attached there, which is nice to see. And you've got this sort of variety of different materials in the torso area. You've got the leather, you've got the nylon, you've got different types of you've got this vinyl, and they're all coming together and stitched together really nicely. Looks like the suit is velcroed on underneath there, if the light's catching that. Let's take a look at the hands, the all-important hands. As I say, all sculpted plastic here. They've not gone for metal blades, which is probably a good idea, because I can imagine that will pull the figure down and make posing quite difficult. But yeah, the detailing on the fingers and on the hands is really nicely done to give it that metallic look with those paint washes on there. And they picked out the different handles in different colours. You've got sort of the red scissor effect there, and as I mentioned, they move on ball joints and pretty much just plug directly into the sockets where the knuckles would be, but they are asymmetrical as well. As you can see here, you've got a pair of scissors for the thumb here, whereas the thumb here is more like wire cutters, and the detailing is really nice, and that paint application to give it that metal look, very, very good. These sections that move back to the wrist area are all plastic. I would say exercise caution with these, because they are quite delicate and they are attached to those blades where the fingers are, and they do move, and you don't want to overstress that. I could see that snapping and breaking away from this hard plastic wrist section quite easily. So yeah, exercise caution here. It's one of those ones that requires a delicate touch, this figure, but I think that's the nature of the figure and the suit itself. Moving up to the neck area, and the second of my issues, firstly was that janky body, and then the second one was this neck. Now, I forgot to mention in the accessories section, it's a magnetically attached fixed neck head sculpt. Now, first of all, getting it into the gap here is not the easiest thing in the world, and the tolerances between the peg that you're attaching it to and the neck itself aren't the best in the world. It took some real effort to get that head to go on properly, and I was really wary of actually mucking up the hair when I was doing that, because it's really the only way to grip it is at the sides. So that may just be this figure, but yeah, the tolerances on that neck aren't very good, and the major issue here, as you can probably see, is how this outfit, now I'm going to drop this shoulder as much as I can to try and get this to work, but as you can see, there's a creasing running across the top of the shoulder area there, and the whole thing is pulling down. This whole neck area is pulling down. Now, those who know the film will know that this neck area pretty much sits flush to Johnny Depp's chin, and here it doesn't, and not so bad from this angle, from the right hand side, but you take a look at the left hand side and it is exposing way too much neck. Now, I've tried futzing this prior to this shot with my fingers, but it's impossible to get this. I'm really struggling to get this collar area to rise up properly and meet the jawline. It does not want to move. Now, I'm not sure what's causing that. I have futzed around it. I will try again between takes. It just does not as you can see, you end up with this sort of giraffe neck look, which is just not screen accurate at all. And I think this is down to the way this outfit, this particular outfit, has been put together. The movement in the head itself, now, because it's super stiff, and you've got to, I would say you need to exercise caution here, because as you can see, when you try and turn the head, the whole neck area right down into the torso wants to move. What it should be doing is actually moving independently like that, yeah, and not bringing the rest of the neck with it. So I would say exercise caution there as well, because what it wants to do, and that's sort of thrown the hair out now, is it's wanting to drag the whole neck area along with it, which could damage obviously the materials that they've used in the top here. So I will be futzing this neck and collar area off camera before we go over to the showcase at the end, hoping that I can get something a little bit more symmetrical out of that and less giraffe-like. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Let's get him back on the stand. I think what we should do now is we should try out the other outfit, because it's going to be interesting to see how it works with that other outfit, simply because I don't think there's any way of detaching these hands. Although I'm seeing a ball joint on here, obviously detaching the hands to get the shirt on are a bit of a non-starter, so I'm assuming it's just lining all these blades up and hoping that you can get it over the top of the black outfit. So let's cut to shirt and pants. Okay, so shirt and pants on, and I have to say I like this look more than I thought I would. I think it works. I think the cut, the proportions of the shirt and the pants, they just work really well, and the screen accuracy is definitely there, even though it is a bit of a ball ache to get them on. To actually get the shirt on, pants aren't really an issue, because there's so many small details on the suit. Even though these pants and shirt are oversized, it's difficult to get them over the top. Obviously you can't unpeg these hands because of the attachments to the arms. So what I found the easiest way to do it was to actually unplug the scissor hands themselves, the ones that are on ball joints. They're not all on ball joints, so if you're going to do it this way, exercise caution. You don't want to be pulling off any of the bits of the arms, but the ones that are on ball joints, I took them all out and then put the shirt over. Otherwise it's damn near impossible. You're going to rip that shirt. Yeah, I think this look works very, very well indeed. So final thoughts before we go over to the showcase. Whoa, where to begin with this? First of all, I've got to take my hat off to Present Toys for their ambition. It's not an easy figure to make. I think they've made a really good fist of it, and I think they've attempted to raise their own bar, which in many respects they've actually succeeded at. But it's not without its flaws. We will start with the flaws first. We'll get those out of the way. The body. If you're going to get this ambitious, if you're going to go all in, use a decent body. Janky bodies at this price point really aren't acceptable. And this left leg thing, I don't know what's going on with Present Toys at the moment with this loose left leg, but so yeah, there's that issue around the neck. I have tried to futz that with that core, and I'll be doing some more work on that, not quite aligning properly, but I'm sure that's something I'll be able to fix. The tolerances on the head sculpt, not brilliant. Could be better. And the head sculpt itself, I mean, I like it, I think it's great, but I don't think it's going to be to everybody's taste. But I think the look that they've gone for, they've nailed on the rooted. The plus sides to this, I like this base, I think it works. I think the level of detailing on the outfit, the proportions, the fact that they've used real leather, that they've gone for rooted hair rather than a sculpted hair look. I think they really, really have been super ambitious here, and in many respects, they've actually stepped their own game up and produced probably one of their best figures ever for Present Toys. However, there's just some rough edges there that need smoothing out, and if Present Toys can smooth those rough edges out, they really, really will be pissing in the tall grass with the big boys if they can just nail on those details. So a final score. This is a tough one, mixed bag, but I think there are more pluses than there are minuses. I'm going to give this an 8, an 8.5. I think, as I say, I think that they've raised their own bar here, Present Toys, and I really hope that they keep pushing forward like this, and just iron out those few creases, and they could really be up there. So yeah, solid 8.5. We'll go 8.5. I'm feeling generous today. So there you have it, folks. That's Present Toys' take on Johnny Depp as Edward Scissorhands. So what are your thoughts on this figure? Do you already have it? Have you got it on pre-order? What are your thoughts on Present Toys? What are your thoughts on the movie? What are your thoughts on Johnny Depp? Anything at all. Nothing's off menu, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. I will be fascinated to hear your take on this piece. What's coming up on the channel? Well, in the 6 scale world, we have got stuff from InArt, Pure Arts, Hot Toys, Susu Toys, Mars Toys. The list is endless. So yeah, we've got new reviews coming up all the time. We've got retro reviews. We've got more episodes of Grail or Fail, more episodes of Don't Make Me Choose. So yeah, there's a boatload of stuff on the horizon. So as I mentioned at the top there, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the good stuff. And I suppose all that remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching. From me, from Edward Scissorhands. Take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.